This is the Plot Thickens with Cassie and Amy on SwinRadio.
This is the Plot Thickens with Cassie and Amy. I don't know if it played again. Wow,
I don't know if it played.
first day back and our intros are already not playing.
This is Amy.
Yay! Oh, I forgot our
I forgot our intro too.
I forgot we had an intro.
I forgot as well.
Most important thing to know is we're on at a different time.
Yeah.
So we don't have Tuesday classes anymore. So
So it'll be fortnightly on Fridays from 11 a.m., but not quite 11 a.m. this time because Peter did not cue the music up.
Yeah, shame Peter, public shaming.
Public shaming.
We're back in the studio from our...
Sorry, I just sniffed into the mic. I'm sorry.
God.
We're in all sorts today.
Unprofessional behavior. We're back from our placements, from our, what's it called? Holiday? Semester break. And, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. Do you want to just start?
I don't know either. I mean, So this original episode was actually pre-recorded, and then it was so disorganized.
We were tired and, like, we watched it back.
It was the final week of semester. Cassie and I had been through it. We'd been through the trenches all semester.
Yep.
We had so many things due, and then we went, okay, let's just do a double recording of these. Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Terrible. I deleted it off my phone immediately because I was like, I can't actually watch back.
Yeah, because I remember Amy being like, oh, it's not that good. And I was like, just delete it. Like, I think you were trying to, like, imply that you wanted to, like, refilm it, like, very subtly. Be like,
probably not.
what if, like, it got lost? And I was like, let's just refilm.
Yeah. So
we're here.
We said we'll see you next week, and now it's been, like, 2 months.
2 months. So this is the second part of us reading Outwriting.
Our 2-part story.
Yay, our 2-part story that should be 4, but we're slow.
We're lazy.
Yeah. So last 2 months ago, we read Don't Look Into the Sun, written by me, and this is Amy's part of the story that follows one of the characters in that, Davy.
Dave, if you even remember Davy.
If you remember Davy. You do. She's
I
on your
do.
mind 24/7.
Yeah, I like Davy a lot.
I really didn't care about Davy.
But
when I read it.
if you want a refresher on what the hell this story is, go on to Sweaty J. I had to change my name on YouTube because it's actually not. Sweaty Jesus isn't really professional, especially when I'm trying to pitch my work and my portfolio to employers. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward for me too saying it. I had to be like, it's actually my friend's account.
That's my alter ego.
Sweaty Jesus.
Yeah. But so you can go on to Sweaty J on YouTube.com.
I don't think it's much better.
I'm keeping the sweaty part. The Jesus
we
part.
gotta be true to ourselves.
Especially since I'm trying to pitch to like a Christian radio.
Yeah, trust. What's the J stand for?
You're
gonna love this.
Sweaty joy. Sweaty joys and prayers.
Sweaty joys and prayers. All right, this is Here Comes the Sun. Here Comes the Sun. By Amy Anderson. I'm gonna try my country accent.
Yeah, go for it.
I wake.
Oh no.
Okay, no, we're good. I wake, sitting up straight, gasping for air. I clutch at my chest and hear the sounds of the robins singing outside. It must be real early in the morning. I can hear Ma pottering around in the kitchen, getting ready for her shift. I try to drift back to sleep before I hear her opening my door. I lift my head off the pillows. She's about to say something, and I can see it in her eyes. Fear. Davy, my ma says my name so quietly, I can barely hear it before she's running over and filling me in her arms. Her hair smells like soap. I can tell she's washed it after she got home from the diner. She always smells like grease after work. Ma? I say it softly, not wanting to startle her as I feel her shaking hands in my hair. I feel a thick silence fill in the room, the only sounds coming from the outside of the house. Big gusts of wind rattling the shrubs next to my wall, and I hear the wind chime on the front steps twinkling ever so slightly. I notice that my baby brother Todd is standing in the doorway. He must have gotten up to go potty some time ago. Probably woke himself up, too, with all the night terrors he's been having. The girls in his class keep telling him stories about a fox. Oh, baby, she says it as she pulls my head away from her shoulder. She's looking at me now. Her eyes are puffy and her cheeks are red. She's been crying for some time now, it seems. Todd comes up to Ma now, tugging on her nightgown and rubs his eyes. She keeps stroking my hair with shaky hands as she grabs his little hand. I can't help but notice how sunken her eyes are as well. She goes to open her mouth, and I feel a deep pit in my stomach open up. I already know what she's about to say before she says it. The Ives girl? I remember that the rain was meant to last all night, but it must have stopped. I remember that I gave my umbrella to her, my best friend. It will be a wet walk home today. Maybe it stopped after Marissa Ives met her fate. Maybe the sky cleared to allow her up into heaven. I don't believe in such things, not really, but I still pray before I go to bed, just like Ma says. The next day, the downpour starts again. I see my friend at school. She's been acting real strange all morning, like she's less irritable. I saw a smile creep up on her face when Miss Nancy told us Marissa had been found dead under the bridge last night. Through held-back tears, she asked if anyone had seen Marissa after school yesterday, and to go to the sheriff if they knew anything. I was 2 rows behind my friend while everyone was holding each other, or hugging Ellie Giles as she wept so loudly I thought my ears might start bleeding. But I watched her and didn't see an inch of shock, or sadness, or grief on her face, just the ever-so-slight tilt over the corner of her mouth before she quickly ducks her head behind her hair. I wish I could remember... I could remember hearing my friend tell Marissa yesterday that she forgot her umbrella, right as I ran in the corner and was out of sight. Miss Nancy told us we would be assigned to pairs to walk home just until they find out what happened to Marissa. Ellie was my partner. Ma was happy about this. She tells me not to talk to the family that lives at the bottom of the hill, that they're improper, with a crazy woman and her imbecile daughter, and it'd be good of me to stay clear of her. I hear the word used to describe my friend a lot. Imbecile. I don't know what that word means, but it can't be anything good. Mine and Ellie's partnership doesn't last long. 1 day to be exact. She hits me in the arm with her umbrella when I walk too fast or too slow. She yells at me for asking too many questions. What sends her over the edge, though, is when I ask, "What do you think happens after we die?" Ellie stops dead in her tracks. I stop as well when I can't hear the sound of her feet shuffling behind me anymore. I turn around, but before I can look at her properly, she shoved me in the shoulders. Hard. I fall to the ground and feel my hands scrape against the dirt. They start to sting red hot, and I stay down, looking at the blood escaping the torn flesh in my palms. I look up to see Ellie standing over me. She grips her umbrella so tight I see her knuckles turning white. She has a look I've seen in Ma's eyes before. One time I was playing on the front porch with Todd on a windy day. I tried to tell Ma that I hadn't knocked over the pot plant, that the wind had just been too strong and swept the pot straight off the railing. It smashed into hundreds of shards, and one of them had cut Todd's leg. The look Ma gave me was the same one Ellie was giving me. I'd gone too far.
You're a freak.
Ellie spits at me through gritted teeth. There's a dangerous look in her eyes, one I'd seen her shoot my friend's way before. I never liked Ellie, but she never shot me that look before.
Stay away from me.
I watched as she ran off. I walked towards the bridge after, knowing she's gone, and sit under it. The sound of the river rushing below is suddenly too loud to bear as I hear the sound of rain drops slowly thumping against the bridge above me. I think of Ellie's curls getting wet in the rain.
Where's your partner, Davy? I'm out of practice.
Hi, Arthur Morgan. I hear a familiar voice call. I lift my head to see her walking up to the bridge. She stands against the brick wall and starts kicking at the mud on the ground with her ratty shoe. I don't drop my gaze off hers. I can't.
Would you want to be my partner?
She asks, and I swallow hard. I look at her after we've been sitting in complete silence for a while. I felt like my ears would start ringing along to the sound of the fat water drops slapping on the concrete on the bridge.
Do you think we go somewhere when we die?
She asks suddenly. I duck my head as a small smile tries to escape from my mouth, because it might be the only time she's ever asked me a question first, but I can't help but feel giddy. I think about it for a second. I know what Ma tells me, and Pastor John and Miss Nancy. They all say we're going to heaven. When I ask them how they knew that, and why they didn't know, they told me to stop asking so many questions. I say heaven because I don't know either. Based on the scrunch of her nose, she doesn't seem that impressed by my answer. I feel my stomach clench. Ma sometimes says I've been running off at the mouth, meaning I can't help myself from blabbering. When I've got something on my mind, I just can't stop myself from speaking it. But I try now because part of me is scared that if I don't, I might just end up like Marissa. I idly pick at the wet grass beside me that's wound its way through the concrete. As always, she's looking at me. She always looks people in the eye when she talks to them. People are off put by it. I heard Ellie telling Marissa one time that it felt like she was reaching deep into her soul and looking to steal it from her. I usually don't mind it, but today it feels different. But she keeps looking at me, watching me. I know I'm running off at the mouth now because I can't stop myself from asking the question. It's kind of creepy, don't you think? That someone can just die like that. There's silence again, and I don't know how to fill it. I feel the pit in my stomach sink further. The rain plummeting onto the bridge makes me feel as if I might actually go deaf. I have to be careful. I clear my throat before I can let more words slip out that I aren't meant to. By the way, I start. The look in her eyes is dangerous. I think maybe Ellie might have been right because I can almost feel her hands writhing themselves around my soul, whatever that might even be.
Yes.
Can I have my umbrella back? I try to keep my nerves calm. I try to keep my eyes on her, and a part of me fears if I take them off her even for a second, she might pounce. I don't know what will happen when she does. Her lip twitches, the same way it did in class.
Soon.
Is all she says. We walk in the rain until we reach my house. She still has to make the trek to the bottom of the hill where her mother is no doubt waiting for her. I'm not worried for her, though. There's someone dangerous out there right now. Someone so dangerous that hurts someone as defenseless as Marissa Ives. She looks at me again and waves. Something inside me knows that she, more than anyone in this town, will be safe from that danger. She walks away and towards her home.
Sleep tight tonight, Davy.
Yay! I think I messed up 90% of those lines.
It is interesting the kind of words that you get wrong. Because one of the words is ring themselves around her soul, and you said write themselves around the soul, and I was like, I mean, it still works.
It still works. Yeah, my brain I'm like so focused on like saying a full sentence that like
And in the accent.
And in the accent that I just like this sentence is just like what I decided it is.
We should have done like exercises before this. We should have done my dear Arthur.
My dear Arthur.
I don't imagine you'll receive this letter, but I nonetheless must send it.
I got it wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm a fake Red Dead fan.
Cassie?
Fake
you
Red Dead
swore.
fan. We haven't been on air in so long.
I'm gonna have to edit that out.
Oh no.
You're just giving me more work to do. Thanks a lot.
You're so welcome. Yeah, I really heard you had a relaxing week ahead of you, so I thought
I don't at all.
I thought maybe that
I have like 4 assignments due Monday.
Okay. Let's start talking.
I will just say, so this is technically a graded piece of work that I have submitted to a teacher before. So
did I know that?
Yeah, I literally just said before, let me pull up the tab where my tutor has graded it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were talking about.
You don't listen to me.
I heard you say it, but I didn't know what you were on about.
No, I've submitted this piece before.
Oh.
Because this is the piece that I wanted to put into an ebook along with your piece.
Oh, okay, I did know that.
Yes.
Oh, let's read her advice then and see what she says.
Yes, let me read her feedback. Also, I've lightly
Sorry, I read the first sentence. Amy, this is a dark story that unsettles the reader. Full stop. Opening sentence, by the way. Okay.
It is interesting because there are some things that you wrote that she didn't pick up on that you picked up on, which is very interesting.
Oh!
Yes.
I'm just so intelligent. Also,
So,
it's my story, so
yes.
hopefully I'd pick up on it.
Amy, this is a dark story that unsettles the reader. Well done. The mystery surrounding Ellie and Marissa's... Not Ellie.
Not
I
Ellie.
guess Ellie and Marissa's death. So
Oh,
Ellie
Marissa
the character and Marissa's death. Holds the reader's attention, and you achieve this through the use of spare dialogue. However, some aspects are unclear. Firstly, it isn't clear how Davy knows Marissa Ives has been found dead, which you need to read from the first.
Yeah,
You
from
need the
first
context
story.
of who Davy is as a character, but I
Also,
get
who
that.
Marissa Ives is as a character, kind of.
Yeah, because we don't know that through Davy's perspective, because
Yeah.
Davy doesn't really care for Marissa Ives that much.
She don't give a
Oh my god! God damn it! Swear counter. Oh my god!
No. Whoops.
You're allowed to swear as long as it's in context, and that was not in context.
Gosh, nab it, bro. Alright.
Yes. Also, there is a sense that Ellie is somehow involved in Marissa's death, yet Davy doesn't think this at the end of the piece. Again, I feel like there's just more context in the other stories. But I'll take this all on board. I have taken it on board. This was a semester ago. The use of the Ives girl is relevant for the mother, but reads as inauthentic that Davy would think of her this way, which I did take that on board, and I think I changed. I don't know if I changed it in that document. I can't. I have like
I think
50
you
documents.
changed it
for
to
this.
her. Actually, I'll get on this later.
Yeah. But I did. There's some document where I've rewritten some of this somewhere. This might not even be the document.
No, this is the rewritten document. I know that.
Okay. But reads as inauthentic that Davy would think of her in this way. If this section is a component of a larger piece, perhaps this is dealt with in a previous section. The piece needs more editing, as always, because I hate editing. And I have marked these up on the page. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mostly they are comma placements. Yeah. Every one of my pieces. But please do edit the work before inserting it into the next stage of the project. And yeah, that was pretty much.
Yeah.
That was the big.
I find it interesting that she thought Ellie was part of Marissa's demise.
Yeah, that's interesting. From only reading
From
that
only
piece.
reading that piece.
That's interesting. So it would be cool for me to go back and like rework it so that it's more obvious that Ellie is just
sad.
Yeah.
Just
That's her
heartbroken.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna read this kind of in the order that I've written some stuff
From the
down
top.
in. From the top. So this is gonna go in between being
Do-
nitpicky and being discussions.
Do we want to start with the title?
Yes,
Because-
actually, because I actually didn't write anything for the title, but we should discuss it
Yes.
because the title "Here Comes the Sun" was mostly a working title.
Yeah, it's not the actual title.
It's not the actual title, and that's kind of similar to my story, where that was just a working title.
But yours works a lot because it's "Don't Look into the Sun," which implies danger, whereas mine is "Here Comes the Sun," da-da-da-da,
Yeah, I think.
which is way too. It's a bit too gritty, this story, for that kind of correlation to the song.
Which is kind of tricky because I think we discussed like wanting to keep sun in the title.
Yes.
Because Davy, in a way, is kind of like the sun. I don't know. So I remember just like mentioning it to you, being like, you know, sunspots or like sun
Yes,
blind.
yes,
Like when
yes.
you look into the sun and like you go blind for a moment, that could potentially be something for the title.
Which also works because if you watch the previous episode, Davy is the only one that gets freckles in the town because she's in the sun all the time. So sunspot can also imply the sunspots on the ground that Davy is sunbathing in. a bit.
True.
Oh.
True. Light through the trees.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just gonna go down the order that I have. So this is gonna go in between being like discussions and
And
being
this-
nitpicky stuff.
This first point that you have is something that my tutor didn't pick up on, and I also didn't pick up on.
It's very nitpicky. That's why. It is just in the opening sentence. It says, "I can hear Ma puttering around the kitchen, getting ready for her shift." And then like 2 seconds later, she comes in and she smells like soap. And Davy says like she always washes her hair after getting home from her shift.
Yeah.
So like, is she leaving for her shift or is she coming back from her shift?
And this is why you need several fresh eyes on your piece.
On a piece.
Even if you read it out, I didn't even pick up on that. So.
Yeah. And also that can be used to
I'm
kind of
moving my
tell a few
microphone.
different things, like what time it is. Like if the mother gets home from her shift, you can kind of assume it might even be like 3 a.m. So it's like
That was the
witching
idea,
hour.
because I think we'd spoken about how I'm moving my microphone again. I think we'd spoken about how my idea for Davy's mother is that she's a single mother.
Mhm.
Davy's father has passed away, and because I did a little bit of research into like, you know, southern towns. What did we say? The 60s or I think we said 60s. Because women in the 60s in like
Small
more
towns.
USA in the South were allowed to get jobs if they were single, which would often be, you know, like diner jobs or
Yeah.
teachers or stuff like that.
And I think it's pretty clear that it says Dinah, that she's kind of working.
Yeah.
More middle class, lower to middle class.
Yeah, because I think it's implied a little bit in this story, but it's more in your story, which is that the fox, as we refer to Davy's friend,
Yes.
the fox is at the very low,
Bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel, lowest class in the town.
Mm.
Davy is above the fox, but she's still.
Yeah,
low
and I feel
class.
like that can even be implied a little bit through the brother, like if they're sharing a room.
Mm.
Like, or maybe all three of them are sharing a room, like a single bedroom, and that's why she comes in, or why, like, she knows that Todd's been having, like, these nightmares.
Yeah.
It's like they're all just sharing this single space. I don't know.
Yeah.
A way to show that. Let's move down. Oh, this is the most nitpicky thing of all time.
Oh,
Okay.
it.
Yeah, it. In a lot of your dialogue, you say, I say it. Ma, I say it softly. Oh, baby, she says it as. In the ma, it works because it's like a single word. Like, she says it, this word softly. But, oh, baby, she says it softly. It's just like an unnecessary place for a word, and it implies that, like, a description's going to be given to it rather than, like, an action.
Yeah.
She says it, slowly. She says it sadly. She says it hesitantly.
And it breaks the flow.
It breaks
as well.
the flow
She
of
says
the
it
sentence.
as she pulls.
Yeah.
She says as she pulls my head away. Yeah.
Just saying.
What the hell?
Okay, I've got this one green, so it must be good. Yes.
Yeah, what's the color coding for all of these?
Oh, okay, so I've color coded these because I love color coding. Purple is like discussions.
Mhm.
So it's not necessarily like good or bad, but like open for interpretation.
Mhm.
Red is my nitpicky stuff that I don't think makes sense.
How
And
much of that
green is stuff that I really, really like and I want to talk about. So this is the green, and this is where Davy says, her eyes are puffy, her cheeks are red, she's been crying for some time, it seems. And this gets into something that I don't think was touched on too much in this, I was about to say fic, in this...
in this fanfiction.
in this
we'll call it.
fanfiction. I mean, kind of.
It's not a fanfiction.
Fanfiction of my piece. In this piece where Davy is very perceptive and curious, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like her, because she kind of breaks the status quo. So her recognizing her mother's face and like being like, she's been crying for some time now, kind of leans into that more like perception.
And what did we
part.
agree on what their ages?
I still see them as way younger than you do.
What did I say? I can't remember.
I think you said something like 16 or something. I was like, in my head.
No, I thought you said 16. I saw them as like 11 or like.
Oh, I saw them. Yeah, me too.
Hmm?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember what our conversation was.
Let me roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
I'm not gonna remember to do that.
In my head now, reading it, I feel like they're kind of like 12.
Yeah, I get like 12 or 13 because it's at that
No, I
age.
thought they were way younger, like 8. That's what I was thinking. That's what we're thinking. But I can see like 11, 12.
Yeah, I see 11 and 12 because it's like, Ellie and Marissa, their mothers still do their hair.
Yeah.
It's sort of that like young age.
But I feel like back in the 60s, I'm going off like Anne with an E. The more rich upper class people, mothers still like did their daughters' hair and stuff because they want them to like look perfect or appear perfect. And
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
Very kind of in that sense.
Okay.
But I do see them being younger, like 12.
Yeah, like that very. I'm trying to say something. Oh my god, this is a problem that I've been having the whole time we've been doing this. Is that it's that age where, Davy is slightly more perceptive than the rest of the people. What?
Sorry.
Why are you smiling at me?
No, just perceptive isn't a word.
But is that what I said?
Yeah.
Whoops. She's more perceptive than like all the other girls in her class.
Yeah.
And that like
and
makes
why
the people
Fox
around
also.
her very upset. And like they're like, you shouldn't be this.
Yeah. Which is also why she likes the fox and why the fox likes her.
Yeah.
They're the only two people who, and we'll get into it later with the whole like death conversation as well.
Yeah.
But yes. Okay, the next thing I have, the line where she says, I already know what she's about to say before she says it about Marissa's death. And I wanted to ask you why that line is there, because I think they don't have it. Does she suspect the fox already?
Yes.
And potentially could it be something more like she knows what her mother looks like when she's about to deliver bad news, and then this could imply something about like the death of her father or something like that. Be like, this is like, even if like you want to change the scene a little bit and be like, she sat us at the table, but we only sit at the last time we sat at the table is when she told us about our, like my father.
Oh,
and
that'd
we
be
don't
good.
sit at it anymore.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
That'd be so much fun.
Oh, that'd be a cute
but I was
little
wondering
scene.
if like you wrote that because she already suspects the fox or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Because Davy is so perceptive. I think.
Perceptive.
I didn't say that. There's yeah, she already knows the nature of the fox, but sort of doesn't want to admit it because that's her only like friend in the town.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to believe that the fox would do that,
Yeah.
but knows deep down that that's what has happened.
So I suppose if this is written as like a standalone piece, the fox kind of needs to be introduced a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
As a character, or even like, yeah, something that's implying the fox, because the line feels like it kind of comes out of nowhere, being like, wait, what? Why does she know already?
Well, because the idea for a standalone piece, yes, but the idea is that this is the fourth story in the 4-part.
Correct.
series.
I don't remember if we touched on this last time. My piece about the fox's POV is going to be first. There's 2 other pieces, one from Miss Nancy's perspective and one from the sheriff's perspective that are going in the middle, and this is the final piece.
Because it's the fox, Ms. Nancy, sheriff, and then Davy, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because that also breaks up who's writing it as well, so it will be me, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. I marked this again, but once again, I think this is the line that I wrote, so I'm going to skip it. It's the, like...
No, I wrote that one.
You wrote this one? Okay, good. Because I really like this line.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I wrote and what I didn't write.
Yeah, the ones that are about, like, I say heaven, but I don't really believe that. Those are lines that you wrote.
Yes, okay. So
because Cassie wrote in a shared document that there were some lines that she had, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to add those in there. So there's still parts of Cassie in her story.
Maybe the sky cleared to allow it a heaven, just with the line about, like, the break in the rain. I really like
Yeah, I wrote that, and I went...
cook. Ooh, my hand, it's burning.
Ooh, cradling my wrist. That went hard. Was that tough?
That's tough, bro. Bars. Okay. What's this? Oh, switch to, from past. Yeah, you switch tense a little bit at this point.
Classic Amy move.
Classic Amy move.
And this is
a
why
classic
I'm not an editor.
everyone move. I feel like that's such a common thing. Okay, this is, again, more of, like, a nitpicky thing. This is when Miss Nancy tells the kids that, like, the Marissa's dead, which just, in, like, a more realistic perspective, the sheriff would come in and say it.
Oh, okay.
And Miss Nancy would just be there.
Mm.
Like, because... And this is just from something that I learned very recently about when someone young dies in a small town. Information that's, like, passed on like this, especially to, like, children, kind of needs to come from, like, a law enforcement perspective. Otherwise, it's like Chinese whispers, how, like, things can kind of go wrong and get crossed over.
Okay.
So especially if it's like, oh, come to us if you know anything, it wouldn't be Miss Nancy saying it. It would be the sheriff being like, come to us.
I guess my idea was that for that, because it's such a small town and nothing ever happened in this small town, the second something happens, the sheriff is kind of like, oh, I'm too busy. Like, this is, like, I can't, like, I don't have time to go to all these schools and tell I'm the only sheriff in this town, dude.
I kind of pictured it was only one school, though.
But what about the boys? Because it's an all-girls school, isn't it? Because it's a classroom full of girls.
Oh, I never thought of that.
I figured they would have had to, like, split.
Probably.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. I just only write female characters.
Yeah.
You'll notice
I've
in my
added,
stories,
like, some of the only male
characters. You'll notice in my
characters.
stories there's only women characters. There's no men.
Yeah.
And,
And we've added 2 men and neither of them talk yet.
The reverse Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay, I'm gonna skip the next one because it's where you say, like, my friend. Actually, I'm not gonna skip it. Just because you switch between my friend and my best friend and italic her, and this is why I'll bring up the italics, where I use italics a lot,
It's
for
like,
emphasis
internal dialogue?
and everything, and dialogue, internal dialogue. You don't use italics except when saying the word her, and I really like that because it kind of gives this, like, personification to a character that doesn't have a name, and when it says her italic, you immediately know who is being spoken about.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't use italics very much, so.
No. So, but I like that you did it with her.
Yeah. Well, also because when I wrote this piece for the unit that I I had the piece already and then I edited it. I
Yeah.
added a name to the fox because I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I've
Yeah.
had to go through and quickly like readjust it and go, I don't know, her, italics,
Her.
I don't know.
Yeah, it does not make sense for the fox to be a nameless character in Davy's perspective.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Oh, okay. So this is just something that I know from you telling me. Oh, wait, no. Ignore me.
Okay.
The line, I could remember hearing my friend tell Marissa yesterday that she forgot her umbrella. Just from the fox's perspective, that conversation never happened. So when Davy leaves, the fox actually doesn't approach Marissa until they're like at the end of the bridge by themselves.
Really?
Yeah. So Marissa's like walking with her friends or whatever, and they're all splitting off. And then they get to the edge of the bridge, and only then does the fox approach Marissa.
Oh, I thought they saw each other outside the schoolyard.
No. The fox is like watching Marissa, but she's kind of stalking her until she's on her own, and then only approaches when they're at the edge of the bridge.
Oh,
So, just
cool.
a little something there.
No, add that in.
What's this? Okay, I'm just gonna read like fully what I've written because I don't know how to summarize this.
Also,
Miss
my
Nancy
stomach's
told us-
totally about to grumble at some point. Just let everyone know.
Miss Nancy told us we'd be assigned to partners to walk home just until they find out what happened to Marissa. And then my note was, again, Miss Nancy probably wouldn't say this. She would just say you're walking in pairs for the next few months, and this can show more of Davy's perceptive personality by thinking the police probably don't want any more girls going missing, and that's why we're forced to walk together. Not that I mind. Without being forced, no one else wants to walk home with me except for her. Something more. And I feel bad when I make these notes because I'm like, this is your story. Like, but
No. It's a collaboration.
it's a collaborative piece.
Aw.
But just because, yeah, I don't think Miss Nancy would be like, guys, you need to walk in pairs because Marissa's dead.
Oh my god! Jesse!
No!
You owe me food. You're buying me lunch.
I'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you lunch. This is on me. Yeah, I think it would more just be like Miss Nancy would be like, "Hey, our police department says you guys need to walk home in pairs for the next few months."
I do have a rebuttal for your last thing, which is I don't mind without being forced. Nobody else wants to walk with me. I don't think Davy would say that. I think Davy. No, but I don't think Davy would even think that.
Okay.
I think Davy would much prefer to walk home alone than be forced to walk with someone like Marissa or Ellie. It's her mother that wants her to appear more upper class.
Yeah.
But it's Davy that's like, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I want to walk by myself.
Yeah.
Oh, another very nitpicky thing.
But do you agree with that? Because again, it's your story. But that's just how I perceive Davy's character.
I do agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like Davy's very perceptive where she knows that her mother wants her to do that and she kind of wants to please her mother.
So she can say, I
know my mum's going to be happy.
I don't mind because at least Ma will
like this.
Ma will be pleased.
Yeah. And usually no one else will walk with me because I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in.
Do you ever see me without this hat on?
That's
weird.
That's weird. With a crazy woman and her imbecile daughter, it'd do me good to stay clear of her. It doesn't make sense to say her. You'd say them in that sentence.
Okay.
Though just the way the sentence is structured. So if you're gonna say her, be like, just change the sentence around a little bit. That is the most nitpicky thing of all time, though. Like, who cares?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, right. The imbecile line, I don't know what that word means, but it can't be anything good. My note was, could show more of Davy's tendencies for curiosity and being ignored. She could have asked what her mother meant. She could have asked her mother what the word meant, and her mum just says not to repeat it, but doesn't tell her why. And that also carries the theme that only the fox indulges in Davy's curiosity.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Just an add-on scene. Like, nothing here is wrong, but I was like, when I was thinking that, I was like, oh, that'd be fun if we had that.
Go back to like the running off at the mouth thing.
Yeah, because I'll get into this later, but I not hoped you would, but just from the way the character is, like that whole run the mouth thing, I think is a really interesting, strong point of her character, and it just should be introduced in the start rather than the end.
Yeah. I think I want to do that as well.
Yeah.
Because I do a little bit of research into those things, and that's like a very southern term apparently. Running off at the mouth, I think that's what I
Running
wrote.
off at the mouth.
Yeah. Which Yeah, is a Southern thing, and I try to add as many like Southern phrases into it as I can.
Yeah.
But-
I didn't do that when I did mine, which is why it comes off very fake. But I definitely got the very Southern like dialect when I was reading this.
Okay, cool.
And this next note is just something that I know from conversations that we've had. But the character Ellie and the character in my story, Mary May, were supposed to be the same character. But when you wrote this, you just forgot that her name was Mary May. It's just what you told me last time.
Yeah.
So in my story, Marissa gave her umbrella to Mary May, who in this case is Ellie. So when Ellie says, like, Ellie's like pointing her with the umbrella, she grips her umbrella so tightly I can see her knuckles turning white. My note was, I remember something about Ellie being supposed to be Mary May. If that's the case, this would be Marissa's umbrella that she has, not her umbrella.
Oh.
So Mary May or Ellie would actually be holding Marissa's umbrella in this case, which either could add something or could.
I think it can add something.
Yeah, it can definitely add something, especially with. I remember you saying something before about Ellie is almost trying to be Marissa, like. And I think everyone in the town kind of is trying to be Marissa or be Marissa's family because they're kind of at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of just trying to be them. And even with the way that it's like Ellie's like curled her hair, that's very similar how Marissa is described. She isn't described in this piece, but the descriptions between Ellie and Marissa are very similar.
Okay. I think we should. I like Mary May as a name more. I feel like if we're just sticking to one of them, I feel like Mary May is that's fun. That's fun.
That's fun. Okay, the next thing is a bit long. I'm so keen of time. When Ellie says, "You're a freak," she spits at me through gritted teeth. There's a dangerous look in her eyes. Davy's probably smart enough to know that that's a look of fear, but she could recognize that Ellie is trying to look large and dangerous, but her eyes betray that she's feeling scared or sad. And that just ties into later when she's talking to the fox, and by the way, I start the look in her eyes is dangerous. So I thought this could be interesting if it like contrasted Ellie, where Ellie is trying to be dangerous, but her eyes reveal that she's scared, and the fox is trying to be normal, but her eyes reveal that she's dangerous. And that just ties into like Davy's perception, like very perceptive nature. But I just thought that could be an interesting, like kind of contrast or tie-in. My note starts with so nitpicky. And it's just the line where the fox asks, "Would you want to be my partner?" So nitpicky, but the fox wouldn't ask Davy to be her partner. Davy would ask her.
Okay.
And that's purely just from the person who wrote the story.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, we
I
can
hate
talk
saying
about like a way around that because
Yeah.
I think currently in this state, Davy is a little too overcome with fear to ask the fox.
To ask the fox.
Yeah.
It could even be like the fox is like, Davy knows the fox is waiting for her to ask. And if she doesn't comply, she's like scared what will happen to her.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like that fawn kind of react, like fight, freeze fawn. It's like she's asking, like she's waiting. And if I don't give her what she wants, I'm scared what's going to happen to me. Something like that. Because just from the fox's perspective, she is not a character who's like, "Do you want to be my partner?"
I guess I saw it as more of like a
rhetorical question.
More of just like an insertion of power.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see
Yeah, where she's asking her something that she know Davy can't refuse.
Yeah. And then my next thing is like a sentence later. The fox asks, "Where do you think we go when we die?" And then it's like, it's the first time she's ever asked me a question first. Even though seconds prior, the fox just asked a question. And my note was, I know Davy meant the question like a random out of nowhere question. But it feels a little out of place because the fox just asked her a question. Could work if the "could you be my partner" line is changed to Davy, because "where is your partner" is already rhetorical. Like I said, so the fox asked 3 questions simultaneously. She asked, "Where's your partner, Davy? Would you like to be my partner? Where do you think we go when we die?" And then the line, "This is the first time she's ever asked me a question." Which, like, the first one makes sense because that's rhetorical. "Where's your partner, Davy?" And that's kind of where I saw the insertion of power from the fox being
we could just like change it to "this is the first time she's ever asked me any questions."
Yeah.
To imply that there's been multiple.
True.
I don't know.
Oh,
but boy.
And then where do you think we go when we die? And then Davy, I don't know, I forgot her name. Davy says, I think about it for a second. Explain why she needs to think about it, because she already asked Ellie that question. Like, so in my head, I was like, why does she need to think about it if she's like,
I guess because no one asks her the question.
Yeah. I made a note, like, if when she asked Ellie, she'd be like, I asked Ellie the question even though I didn't have an answer myself, or like could tie back to like Davy's mouth moving faster than her head. She's like asking these questions before she even has an answer herself.
Yeah, I guess she's just trying to get. She's taking a survey and she's asking everyone in the town, and whatever the average answer is, that's what she's gonna stick with.
Yeah. Really?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, that kind of goes against her character.
I don't know. I feel like she's so scared, but she's also so curious that she's interested in what everyone else thinks, and she's happy to just go with that. It's like how she's happy to. She doesn't like Marissa and she doesn't like Ellie, but she'll walk with them because her mum wants it.
It's
sort
kind
of
of
like
like,
that.
and I hate to pin this on her, but a bit like autistic in the where it's like,
Yeah.
she doesn't really have the social cues to be like.
I don't know why you said sorry. That's exactly how I was imagining her the whole time.
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like the autistic people are like
masking.
Yeah, masking, like socially unaware. Like that's not the case for all autistic people.
Yeah.
But just in this case, the kind of way where it's like they want to get an answer to a question, but they're not sure how to approach it.
Yeah.
Is kind of also how
It's
I read
the
this.
Bluntness. I
The
guess.
bluntness and like the social awkwardness and like not need to fit in, but also like want to be like standard.
Yeah, wants to blend in with
wants
everyone.
to blend in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how I was picturing it.
I think this is my. Oh no, it's not my last note.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was the note about the soul and like stealing the soul, which I love that, by the way.
I'm glad, because I was writing that and I was like, this is cringe.
No, I liked it. I liked the stealing the soul thing.
Okay,
like, I think
cool.
it can be reworked a little so so when you write it, it sounds less like.
It flows a little bit.
It flows a little better.
Yeah. I agree.
But it was I usually don't mind it, but today feels different. I thought maybe it could be like, I usually don't mind it. I actually even like it.
Oh.
Because Davy, and this can just tie more into how Davy
views
her relationship with the fox, where it's like she knows the fox is bad, but even so, the fox is still the only one that indulges in her curiosity.
Toxic relationship.
Yeah, so it just kind of adds like a bit to that, I think. Then I've just the dangerous line again. Okay, and then the final line where it's like, there's someone dangerous out there now, someone so dangerous they'll hurt someone as defenseless as Miss Rives.
I want to talk about this one as well.
Yeah. I think it could be more interesting if it would be something, and that just adds to the whole, like, the fox is an unnamed character, but still, the fox, what we call a character, that's not a person. That's an animal. So, like, there's something dangerous out there right now, something so dangerous it would hurt something defenseless as Miss Rives, something like a fox wandering in the woods for the next meal or prey, and then it could be, you know, like something more along those lines.
Which I think is also, it's so fun. I don't know why I keep saying that.
It's so fun.
This would be so fun.
This would be so much fun if we did this.
Because I like the idea of Davy saying something, which still implies the naive minds of all the children that are like, it could have been a fox. And then if from Miss Nancy and the sheriff's perspective, they specifically say someone instead.
Yes,
because
like
they're
a
like, no,
contrast.
it was a person. A person killed Marissa Ives.
Yeah.
I just realized we didn't do a trigger warning again. I don't know if...
Oh, I guess. There's like injury and blood.
It's like talking about
Discussions of death.
discussions of death. There you go, there's your trigger warning.
There's a trigger warning. A really half-assed trigger warning. And the final line, sleep tight tonight, Davy. I don't love because it implies that the fox is going to kill Davy.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's just what I picked up from it, where it's like,
I
sleep
guess it
tonight,
was
Davy.
more of like a, watch your back and don't tell anyone that I killed her.
Yeah.
If I want, it would have been like, sleep with one eye open tonight, Davy.
Sleep with one eye open tonight.
Sleep with one eye open tonight, Davy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but we can probably shop that together. It's like, off the top of my head, I feel like if she's trying to get that point across, which I do like that, the whole, like, I know you know.
I know you know that I know that you know.
Yeah, I love that. But I don't think she'd say it in a way that's like sleep well tonight. I think she'd be like, I hope they catch the thing soon or something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
It's like, I hope they catch the fox soon, or like, I saw the fox yesterday or something like that. Like I think she'd say something more like that.
She's just totally like, her ego is just, she's like, yeah, Mercer Ives didn't stand a chance against that fox.
I'll get that fox.
Ooh,
I
guess
saw her
that
turn
fox
her rim
fella's
from
pretty
limb.
cool, huh?
That fox looks really sick as hell. Yeah. Because in my head, the fox isn't like a cunning character so much. And like the way that I wrote her and like her internal monologue and her internal dialogue, she's very egotistical, but she's not like narcissistic in that sense.
Okay.
She's narcissistic and egotistical, but she's not like, she doesn't need to prove that to people.
Does she think she's smarter than everyone else, but she doesn't feel like she has to prove that?
Yes.
Okay.
She's like, in her head, it's not even worth proving to people that she's smarter than everyone else. Because it's like, she's like, these people are so nothing, and I'm so much smarter that like, I don't even need to tell them.
Right,
Because
yeah.
they can't understand how smart I am.
Yeah.
So like this kind of cunning nature that she kind of has written here, like sleep well tonight and like do you want to be my partner, that like assertion of power kind of feels a little out of character for how I pictured her.
Okay.
And I also wanted to ask you, when you originally like sent me a copy and we were talking about it, you talked about how Davy almost had like a little crush on the fox.
Yeah.
But I don't really get that from this piece. Is there anywhere that like I'm missing or something?
It's just my headcanon, bro.
The fanfic.
I guess because I've had to condense this so much for assignments. Because how long I kind of...
How long was mine?
I don't know. I think mine is...
Yours is 1,600.
Yes. There's a lot I do want to put in here because I do feel like... Oh, yours is a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I feel like Davy is such a convoluted character that it is hard. And it's also... I don't write romance either, so it's very hard for me to convey those sorts of things where I don't want to be like, Davy looks away and blushes. Like, I don't want to do that.
But I think their romance is more of like an obsession than a romance.
And it's a toxic relationship.
Or even like a need to be the fox in a way. She's like, this confidence and this care and this like not wanting to be rich is like almost like envious, like this kind of towing the line of jealousy and like admiration. And
okay, I saw more jealousy from the fox for Davy. Yeah, whereas with Davy, I feel like towards the fox, it's more of a, I've felt alone my entire life, and now you've come in my life, and I can't like lose this relationship with you, even though it's bad.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because I actually, as much as I like think about the fox, I actually don't really know what her goals are. So I'm kind of open to doing whatever with her, really. Because I know that she's very like egotistical and narcissistic, but beyond that, I don't really have aspirations or goals for her. So if she's jealous of Davy, I could definitely like see that in the way that she tries to pretend that she doesn't care, but like when she goes home to her like bipolar mother, there's this like level of like sadness and emptiness. Yeah, because
at the end of the day, Davy's lost so much, but at the end of the day, she still has her mother and she still has her baby brother Todd. And she still has those people in her life that are working. You know, her mum works hard to make sure that she appears higher class, like she has a chance, like she still works. She works to make sure that Davy has food on the table, like that sort of thing. Whereas, the fox's mother doesn't do anything. Like she's genuinely, they live in like, I don't know how she goes to school. I actually didn't think the logistics of it because in my head the mother like doesn't work. Maybe they were living off like welfare or something. I would assume so. I'd have to do some research into like what welfare was like in the 60s. But the mother doesn't work. She like literally sits at home all day. Maybe it's a thing of like Davy's father was killed in the war or something, and then that allows the fox bit of, like... to... Did I say Davy or the fox?
Oh, you said Davy.
Oh,
But
no.
you're talking about the fox.
My idea is that the fox's father maybe went to war, and that's
Oh.
why the fox is able to go to.
In my head, he left, like,
Just up and left.
up and left.
Okay. Well, maybe that can be Davy's thing instead.
Yeah, I
Is
don't know.
that-
Because then that adds, like, a level of credibility, even, to
Mm.
the mother. Being like, oh, your husband didn't, like, just leave you. Like, he died being a war hero.
Yeah.
And that's, like, a level of, like...
So there's still a level of respect in
and,
the
like,
town.
status, yeah.
But
to-
they're still like, oh, she's crazy.
She's crazy.
I also wanted to ask you quickly about, because your whole thing is that you love connecting your stories to like nature.
Yes.
I do add a lot of like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was my next thing. It's like, is there anything that I missed that you want to, like, touch on?
I don't know, I guess just more so what you think of some of the things I've tried to add. And I add a lot.
Mm.
I'm kind of just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, really. Yeah, this whole, she has a look I've seen on Mars Eyes one time I was playing on our porch.
Yeah, I liked that line. I didn't
Okay.
add anything to it for right now because we've, like, discussed this. I think when we first brought up, we're having a sleepover, and we first brought up the idea of you writing Davy's perspective, we talked about, this is the first thing we ever talked about, is, like, how we're going to carry across the nature scene to Davy's perspective.
Yeah.
Because they think so differently. Where the fox thinks of everything is in nature terms, but Davy doesn't.
Because the idea for this, and I didn't add it in here, was that this specific bit was supposed to portray like resilience a little bit, because talks about how a pot is fallen off and cracked onto the concrete. And then later in the story, I wanted to add that
the thing bursting out of the concrete. Yeah.
yes, the plant itself has continued to grow through the bricks near Davy's house, and then at the end, I wanted the fox to stomp on it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Like as she's leaving, she stomps on like a flower or like a
Stomps
daffodil
on it.
growing out of the ground or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what that would portray about the fox's character, because again, I
No.
haven't thought about how she kind of views
I mean,
the world.
it depends how big we want this like piece to be or how big we want the world to be. But I guess like breaking down Davy's resilience a little bit and just
Yeah, it could be interesting if the girls thought about the world in like this very fantastical, Mother Nature metaphors with all these like plants and stuff, and then the adults, there's like no sign of that. They're more like level-headed. They're like
yeah, which is what I want. Which is why I liked that something versus someone line, which is very
Yes,
like
I like
still
that too.
showing like this naive like. Oh, it could have been anything. It could have been like a demon or a ghost or like
Yeah.
something under the bridge. And it's like, nah, dude, someone just
dude,
killed her.
that's a person. That's a person. And then it can even still lean into the animalistic things, being like, it was definitely a person, but like the way is like so brutal. Which again, the way Marissa Ives dies, I don't think it's mentioned in this. I'm about to say fic again. I don't think it's mentioned in this piece, but the fox doesn't kill her with her bare hands. She pushes her off a ledge.
Yeah.
And Marissa cracks her head open and dies. So it might be hard to do what I've just said because the whole like, look, she's killed so brutally, it's by an animal. That usually implies she's been like torn apart, but that wouldn't have happened. I think the fox would have just left her body there.
I guess it would have to be more of like a discussion of like why would Marissa Ives ever walk near the bridge? Someone would have had to lure her there.
Yes, because the whole reason that the fox took her that way in my story is Marissa Ives was just going to walk straight up the hill, but it was raining and she didn't want to get her shoes and hair wet.
Yeah.
So the fox took her down this like back path through these like, random side streets and roads, places Marissa Ives has never been because they're actually going down the hill, not up the hill. So that is, definitely turns out as well. I was like, why was she walking this way?
Yeah, because Ms. Nancy and the sheriff, because it'll be from their perspectives, know Marissa Ives enough that they'd be like,
she wouldn't
why
do
would
this.
she do that? Like,
Yeah, talking to other people as well. And just because I don't think we're going to talk about, unless we write them really quick and then we want to read them later.
I'm not getting through this. I will not be able to write it before this semester ends.
Yeah.
And this is my final semester, so.
Yeah, so I guess in the final thing, just touching on, I think it was Miss Nancy's perspective, the funeral scene.
Yes.
How Marissa Ives' funeral is going to be held, and then there's going to be like the very big show of status.
Yeah.
In that scene. Do you have anything to touch on that?
I haven't even thought of.
Just in like the umbrellas that they hold, like if I don't think the fox is going to show up, but Davy's umbrella was.
No,
gonna be,
yeah,
like,
Davy goes, but the fox doesn't.
Yeah, Davy's umbrella is like old, rustic. There like might even be holes in it, where all the like other people have like very strong umbrellas. They're all held really well. Even like symbols of status like that. How people are comforting Marissa Ives' mother, but
Or maybe
like
even
to her face. But then there's like talk like that Davy hears from being in the back of the room.
Yeah.
From other adults like that.
Yeah, it could also be like maybe everyone higher class has their own umbrella, and then Davy, Todd, and their mum have to like huddle between this
sharing
one umbrella.
and it's like
as well.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe Todd gets priority because he's younger, and then Davy has to sort of like stand out in the rain, or like be more like maybe her shoulders getting dripped on, or like half her head or something.
Yeah, and that can tie back to the nature as well, but that scene's not going to be from Davy's perspective, so
yeah,
be a little harder to write. Yeah. Any final touches? I guess we can talk about like writing this, like co-writing it is really tricky.
Yeah, because it's also hard because we're both such visual thinkers, where it's like you have such a specific idea of what it is in your mind, and I'm like trying to pick your brain on how it looks so I can get it in my brain too.
Yeah, and
where I'm like, I need you to like commission an artist or something to just draw out like a map or like a scene of where like
where everything
where
might,
the fox
honestly.
is walking, like where Davy and the fox can be walking, where
I'll take
this
you there.
hill
We'll do a
is.
road trip. I'll take you there.
Okay, cool.
I'll show
Are you gonna kill me? Am I Marissa Ives?
No.
Okay, cool.
I did think about you when I was writing Davy though.
No.
Aw.
No. Autistic little.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
you thought
co-writing
of
in
me?
pieces are really, really fun, but it's
Don't
really
know
hard
me.
to like keep that level of like, because at the crux of it, this is my story.
Yeah.
But I want you to have creative freedom, but then also sometimes you write something where I'm like, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I feel like a jerk because I'm like, no, actually.
I mean, I'm fine with you doing that. So
I
long
know,
as you're
but-
not like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to do this then.
Yeah.
But like, I do like that you've given me like a lot of creative freedom with this because, I mean, but at the same time, I am trying to constantly check back with you when I do write this to be like, is this what you're envisioning? We can workshop this. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I think, this is probably a good idea of, like, what the workshopping looks like from my perspective.
Yeah.
Is I'm like, oh, this works, or, like, I like this, but let's, like, forward it in this way.
Yeah, because you're also very open to
Changing
criticism.
stuff.
Yeah, I guess, like, my criticism of being like, I don't think this is what the characters would think.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get this in quickly.
Oh, we have 30 seconds.
I'm more focused on characters and you're more focused on atmosphere and
Vibes.
settings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a good team as well.
Yeah, because we're not, like, kind of butting heads.
Yeah,
Kind of stuff.
we have our own little specialty things that we like.
Also, when we started writing this was not a fleshed out story from my head as
No.
well. This was something I wrote.
It was in 1,000-word piece and I went, thank you. Anyways,
Thank you, I take
we've
this.
got 7 seconds.
Outro!
Plot Thickens.
SwinRadio.